Welcome to Lit Happens, Saskatchewan's showcase of the literary talent of the province. We are back here in the Shaw studio and just happy to be here. I'd like to welcome back my guest, Jefferson Smith.
Hi, Wes.
Hi, I'm just happy to see you.
Yeah, we don't chat very often outside the studio,
Yeah.
but we're here often.
Yeah, I think we were just sort of doing the math. It's maybe your fifth visit to the show.
Fifth or sixth, yeah,
Yes.
I've lost count.
So yeah, there must be something about you there.
Yeah, productivity or
Productivity.
or attention hound.
Yeah. or yeah, creativity.
Yeah.
Which is maybe a good segue into two of you kind of had a book boom.
Yes.
So we're going to chat about both your new books while you're here today. But let's maybe talk about Squeak,
Sure.
your children's book.
Squeak is a sort of a very personal project. I started it. I wrote it 22 years ago. When my oldest daughter was born, we were traveling visiting family, and I was looking for a way to sort of engage with her while she was off being with other people for the first time. And so I sat down in my grandfather's office and I wrote a story that would sort of be fun for me and fun for her. And it was only ever intended to be just that, a story for my daughter. And I told it to her over the next couple of years as a bedtime story. And then, of course, there was another daughter and then another, and I told it to all of them. And so it sort of become a family tradition. And then just a few years ago, we had a fourth daughter, and she has come through the Squeak years and is now a little bit too old. And about that time, I decided that, we really should find an artist and get it done properly and release it. And as it happened, I met this fabulous artist online, a girl in China, actually.
Yeah.
And it still took us 4 years to do the art, but I am just blown away by what she came back with. I'm completely pleased with it.
I am too. I actually recently just read it, and I was wowed. The art is just has such a good feel-good quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a bit of an unusual storyline because it's about a young girl who's an only child, an only princess, but it's all about how she doesn't care. There's no other kids around for her to play with, but she makes her own fun, and how she solves her loneliness problem is sort of the whole point of the story. And it's a sort of an adventure for kids who sometimes have to make do with themselves at playtime.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I wanted to give the artwork here on the table. If we could just
Oh, sure.
just hold maybe.
Yeah, I'll let you work the camera magic.
Sure.
I recently spent a week at Hugh Cairns Public School here in town, visiting the different classes. And for the older kids, I talk about my older young adult material.
Yeah.
But for the younger kids, the kindergartens up to about grade 2, we were talking about Squeak. And one of the things I love doing when I go into the classrooms is, obviously do a reading, let the kids hear the book. But I also like to leave coloring pages behind. And I just got a little gift in the mail a couple of days ago that the teachers at the school had gathered together all the stuff the kids had colored and sent that off to me as well. And that's kind of fun. My poor Chinese artist doesn't get a lot of the feedback and doesn't get the media blitz, but I can send her, screen captures of the artwork the kids are sending back, and she loves to see that.
It must be a beautiful feeling for you to know that you've moved the kids to that.
Yeah, it's a fun book because the way I wrote it so that my daughter would sort of engage with the story and actually chant along with me as the story progresses. And I get that in the classrooms too. The kids are actually chanting with me as I read the last couple of pages. So it's a really engaging, fun book for kids, and I love the response I get from them. It's a blast every time.
Nice. I think you have the personality that kids kind of connect with you.
Good, I hope so. Are you calling me immature?
No. In a good way. Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I wanted to talk about the Brotherhood book. This is exciting. This is another young adult novel, which is not new to you.
No, the first series, Finding Tana, is almost finished.
Yeah.
I'm working on the third book now. And while that's been ruminating, book 3 has been ruminating, I decided it was time to start another series. But the first series has a female protagonist, a young girl. And this time I wanted to write about younger boys. And when I was a kid, I loved the Hardy Boys and Tom Swift and a great mystery series called The Three Investigators. And I loved that sense of camaraderie when three boys are on an adventure and they seem to know more than the adults do, and they're having fun and doing, solving mysteries. And that was great. But when I started reading fantasy in my teens, I couldn't find that kind of book in that market. So this is my homage to that sort of buddy film book thing, but in the fantasy world. So the Brotherhood of Delinquents is, the tagline is, they're lazy, they're unskilled, and now the fate of the kingdom is in their hands. And that sort of captures the mood I'm going for. These are boys who aren't setting out, they're not really sure what they want to do with their lives. In fact, the things they've done so far, they've failed at.
Yeah.
But now they've got this enormous responsibility, and there's a few puzzles and some secret tunnels and the kinds of things that just really juiced me when I was reading as a kid. So now I'm looking at teen boys, age 12 and up roughly, and the response so far has been very, very promising. So
Good.
I'm having a lot of fun talking to kids about this one too. So
Good. Now, we're running out of time, but I just want to give your Finding Tana series another plug because
Sure. Finding Tana is sort of my first first book is Strange Places, the first book in the series.
Yeah.
Oathkeeper came out about a year and a half ago now. The third one will be out this winter, I'm hoping.
exciting.
And it's about a young girl who's raised in a rather cruel orphanage who discovers that she might not be an orphan in the first place.
Right.
And so that sets the tone for the entire series. Right. She very quickly escapes from the orphanage, and I won't say how, but that's fun, and then runs away to find her parents, but quickly discovers that they're in another world, a world of magic, and it's a world she hasn't got a clue about what the rules are. So she's a fish out of water wandering through this strange other world, meanwhile trying to find her family, and something bad appears to be on the horizon. Something bad is going to happen, and she's got to find them before it does.
Nice.
And I don't want to say too much more about it, but that sets the hook.
And the series,
right? It sets the hook.
It sets the hook, but the series has made a name for itself. It's been around in the last couple
It's
years.
been 4 years now since the first book came out, and certainly that's the one I'm best known for, that series. And I meet new readers every day, and I'm just having a blast engaging with them too.
Nice. Now, actually, one thing I want to get out to viewers is being an author this isn't your first career. This is sort of
I think it's ninth.
Yeah, this is sort of like a reinvention of Jefferson Smith.
Every 5 years, find something new to do with your life, or you stagnate. That's my theory.
Yeah. And so you had a number of creative careers.
Yes, I used to work in Hollywood, in special effects on big budget movies. I've run a few software companies back in the day when the internet was a new and big thing, and the bubble hadn't yet burst.
Right.
But writing has always been a part of what I've done, and I can't see myself leaving this particular career. I'm in this one for the long haul.
I'm glad you just said that. That's what I was hoping to get out of you. So we're almost out of time, but I wanted to just ask you, ebooks. Your
Ebooks.
books.
Everything I do is available as an ebook.
Okay.
The print books are all available at Indigo here in town and McNally Robinson and online. And the ebooks are available wherever fine ebooks are sold.
Right.
And even some places where sketchy ebooks are sold.
Right.
And you can find that information all on my website. I've got a sort of a one-stop shopping place for people who want to figure out where to go to get it. And that's at creativityhacker.ca.
Okay.
And that's all that
Well,
we need to tell them.
And like I always say in every segment, if all else fails, I'm sure you're approachable on social media.
Yes, I am. I'm available on most of them. I haven't figured out Ello, but all the other ones I'm on.
Yes, Google Plus.
Google Plus is where I tend to live, and I'm also on Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest and if it's a social media, I've tried it.
Yeah, exactly. So your finale in the Finding Tana will be out probably in the next several months.
Probably out late fall.
Nice.
This is going to be it's the most ambitious book I've written so far, and hopefully it'll be done on schedule.
Cool. And what about after that?
After that, I have a couple of very interesting new projects on the go, but I can't talk about them just yet because I have to make sure they reach the point at which they're self-sustaining before I announce them. Sort of like a pregnancy.
Okay, we'll shelve it.
Don't
right
talk
there.
in the first trimester.
Yeah. Okay, I know we're out of time, but something tells me that we'll get you on again in probably in the not so distant future.
Yeah, I'll
Yes.
look forward to coming back and telling you about the next one.
Yes, always a pleasure.
Thanks, Wes.
You bet. That's all the time we have today for Lit Happens. If you enjoyed today's episode, you can see previous segments on Shaw TV or on my website, westfunk.ca, and you can connect with us online on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So I'll see you next time on Lit Happens.